The other thing I want to say on this Juneteenth, though, is, my friend shared this with me the other day, and it's not surprising, but this kind of stuff's going on. A teacher in school telling kids that Columbus invented slavery. And I think we should have a conversation about slavery, just generally to put it in context. Yeah.
Well, that's not the only person. I don't know if you saw this. Tim Kaine, former candidate, Democratic candidate for vice president. He just said, on the Senate, was it the Senate floor? He said America invented slavery.
Right. Yeah, I forgot about that, Carrie. You're right.
It's a bald-faced lie.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. It's a bald-faced lie. And just for those of you who care about facts, the oldest, I think it's the oldest, I think there might be snippets of written language before this, but I think it's the oldest long form kind of thing was, the Code of Hammurabi in ancient, what is it? Not Mesopotamia. It's ancient, I want to say Sumeria, but I think I'm wrong. Anyway, that area. Right above the Tigris-Euphrates, like that area. The Code of Hammurabi. In the Code of Hammurabi, slavery is mentioned as an existing institution. So, pretty sure it wasn't invented by Christopher Columbus. Slavery has existed. I mean, historians have documented this. Slavery has existed in every culture, every continent that's been inhabited. Every continent known to man throughout all of history. That includes China. It includes the Arab world. It obviously includes Europe. It includes South America. It includes Africa, both Northern Africa and Egypt. Anyone familiar with the Bible knows very well that the Jews were enslaved to the Pharaoh. And Sub-Saharan Africa. In fact, Ethiopia, by the way, didn't end slavery until, I think, the 1940s. So the idea...
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
I just learned about
go ahead.
I think it was Thomas Sowell who was talking about the Barbary Coast, the Barbary slave trade. I didn't learn about that in school. And so I've just been reading a little bit about that, which it's weird because every once in a while I encounter someone who's putting forth the SJW belief or the SJW assumption that there's some kind of collective DNA that you don't have to have lived through slavery yourself, but you hold something in your DNA of this painful past that you can't really explain and that a white person can never relate to. And I think it was in Douglas Murray's book where we read how even if you're a person who believes that people hold something in their body or their DNA psychically from generations past, it's a lie to say that people of different races can't empathize with oppression because it's in every race. Every race has this in their past.
Yes.
I'm not saying they're all the same. I'm just saying it's absurd to think it's a way to kind of to try and discourage empathy and to tell people that they can't put. If humans weren't capable of empathy, we wouldn't be watching movies that move us to tears.
Right.
About showing a human experience that oh my gosh, this person happens to be a different race than me. It doesn't matter. It moves you to tears because you're able to put yourself in that person's shoes.
Yep.
And I completely and thoroughly reject the idea that I have to be, or that anyone has to be of a particular sex or race in order to imagine what it's like to be in any situation. So I don't know if
empathy wouldn't exist if that were true, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're totally right. And by the way, thank you. Ian in chat reminds me. I was forgetting the word Samaria. It was ancient Samaria. But yeah, I mean, there was, and also Elva Caro in chat points out that there are open air slave markets in Libya selling sub-Saharan Africans into slavery today. I had heard that as well, actually, and I haven't done investigative reporting on that, but I have seen articles about it. So yeah, there are open air slave markets now, and what they would like to do. So what the left does is they begin history basically 1619 is the year zero for them, right? That's when history begins. And it begins with white people springing slavery onto the planet out of a vacuum, out of nowhere. Suddenly, white people bringing African slaves to America. This is where history begins. And this is where slavery begins to them. And I guess unless they're going to blame Columbus. But, blacks enslaved each other in Africa for millennia. Arabs enslaved each other. Ottomans enslaved the Christians. Egyptians enslaved the Jews. Blacks enslaved each other. Chinese enslaved people and were enslaved. This is part of human history is tribal conquest, and often what the quote fruits of victory were that you got slaves. That was what people did. That's what people did. And there's this idea that that this is a new and uniquely American thing. And you know what's uniquely American? Fighting a civil war to end it. That's what's uniquely American.
And uniquely American, ending slavery.
Yeah, that's what's uniquely American. You wanna look at something that's unique to the Western world? Ending slavery based on philosophic principle. That's what's unique to the world. That's what's unique.